Hello, welcome to my channel. For the next couple of months, I'm going to get together these parts for a motherboard setup for a 386 computer. Let me show you what I'm working with right now. So, I haven't taken these out of the boxes yet, but in this Amazon looking box there is a Northgate 386 motherboard for it was built in it was manufactured in 1990 here in America, and this will be kind of the platform I'll be using to build, basically set up the CMOS settings and maybe install some peripheral devices like a floppy drive and a hard drive. What's going to power this motherboard and keep the settings saved is this real-time clock modified chip with a battery in this box here. So basically I will need a OmniKey keyboard with wide op switches, and that's on my list of things to get for next month once I have the funds. I forgot to mention what's really going to be powering the motherboard, along with the real-time clock, will be a power supply unit with a power switch. Somehow I'm going to have to ground that wire to the chassis of a computer case, so as not to conduct any charge that might short the motherboard. Again, this is a project that's going to take a couple months, so I'll be posting the rest of this to YouTube once I have all the parts. Thank you for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be doing part 2 of the 386 Northgate motherboard build. Let's check it out. So here's the packages with the Dallas real-time clock modified chip with a battery. That's the small one, and the larger one is the actual motherboard from Northgate. Let's open these up. Okay, so here are all the components. This right here is the real-time clock modified chip, and with the help of this Swiss Army knife, I was able to get all the stuff out. This came in handy with the scissor tool to get this battery out of here, out of this case. So what you have right here is the main motherboard with so you have the keyboard port here for an AT keyboard. You can always convert that to PS2 in case you want to use a PS2 keyboard. And here's all the available ports here: serial ports, parallel port, and this is the expansion slot for a riser, ISA riser. ISA is basically the standard for old expansion cards like sound cards or graphics cards that would go into this. And here's the riser expansion slot here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this real-time clock modified chip into this slot, into this area right here where I'm pointing with the let's get right there. Yes. So I'll do that in a minute. Now the reason why there was a huge delay in getting this thing out of the box was because I came down with COVID for a couple of weeks, and I was too sick to really do anything other than rest. So now here's the awaited part 2 of the series for the Northgate 386 motherboard. Let's assemble this sucker. So for this build, the sound card I'm going to be using is a Blaster Pro CT1330A with a CD-ROM interface option, so you can plug in a CD-ROM drive and play games with sound options that you wouldn't normally have with the floppy versions of the game. They're also called talkies. So right now, let's put this chip in its slot. So here's the real-time clock chip. It goes right here. Let's get it oriented right. It's a bit tricky because this requires kind of a process where you have to squeeze in the pins just the right amount and get them in there. Give you a better look here. So let's see here if we can get the sucker in here. Okay. Let's go to the previous angle here. Let me get some tools for this. So I finally got it in, and I believe this is the correct orientation for this board, and I believe all the pins are actually occupying those slots. No bending. Pushed it in pretty successfully. Took quite a bit of finagling, but I finally got it in. Now let's get this riser card in. See what it looks like. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Well, not quite the moment of truth. I don't even have a power supply for this thing, so let's just zoom out here. There we go. Let's put this riser in here. Gotta be careful about this so it doesn't bend. That's the thing with these parts, they tend to bend really easily when you're not careful. Just give it a quick shove. There we go. As you can see from the back, there's these standoff screws, which is what really helps out the situation a lot. So these would go into the motherboard from the back. So let's take a look at this thing. Here you have, from this side, two 8-bit slots. From the rear portion, this is probably for a modem. From this side, you have three 16-bit ISO slots. Okay, that's it for this motherboard video. Actually, I do want to plug in a sound card, but before I do that, I want to do some testing on this with an actual power supply. So, thank you for watching. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is part 3 of the Northgate 386 motherboard series. In this video, I've installed a sound card, and this is a very rare sound card indeed. This is the Sound Blaster Pro CT1330A. And it's got 3.5mm speaker output to these speakers. I haven't gotten a power supply unit for this motherboard yet, but when I do, I'll continue this video. Also got it hooked up to a VGA cable, so there's a monitor output, and this will be for the rest of the video. It'll be outputting to this monitor. Here's a quick update. So the Sound Blaster Pro was a little too high on the ISA riser, so I moved it down one slot, and this should be fine. It shouldn't be bending too much because it was bending down a little bit. So now, since it's in the middle, there's more support, so it won't be bending anymore. Okay, here's the latest update. So I got a power supply unit and a hard drive in the mail today. So the hard drive is ensured that an operating system will boot up and be recognized by the motherboard. I don't have an OS currently installed. I'm thinking of installing MS-DOS 6.2 via a floppy drive when I get a floppy drive sooner or later. Anyways, this thing powers on. I tested it before, so let's just pray it doesn't short circuit this time. It won't, because the way these pins are oriented, black facing black, that's how you want it. So that ensures that it's grounded, and the grounding it's in series, basically, the grounding wires. So let's turn this thing on and see what happens. So far, so good. Now, it doesn't have an internal speaker or a PC speaker, whatever you want to call it, to beep and notify what's going on. But pretty soon, I'm also getting a case in the mail this coming Saturday. It's going to be a big Northgate slimline case, and the motherboard's going to go in, and I'm going to screw it in. It's going to be a nice build, and then eventually I'll get a CD-ROM drive and a floppy drive to put into the available slots on the case. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is part 4 of the Northgate 386 motherboard series. As you can see, there's some updates to the configuration I have here. So I managed to get this keyboard in and a floppy drive. So before I posted this video, I installed MS-DOS 6.2 on the hard drive. At first I was having some trouble with getting the DOS installed and getting it read by the hard drive because the drive wasn't formatted yet. So after I installed DOS, I formatted the hard drive, then I reinstalled, with copying the system files over, then I reinstalled DOS, and it worked fine. So let's fire this puppy up. Alright, here we go. CMOS is working well. Everything's saved. Starting MS-DOS. And there you have it. So it works. The next step will be putting all of this into a case. I'll be getting the case today. And that'll be the next part of this video. And here it is, all set up in the case. Got a Mitsumi CD-ROM drive installed there. Put the hard drive in its bracket, and got a Mitsumi interface card to go along with this CD-ROM drive. Period correct. And there's the Sound Blaster Pro beneath it. And here are the extra parts. So I wanted to put a top on the case, but there wasn't any room with the floppy drive and I couldn't install the power switch because it was too wide, so I just left the case open. And this is the front panel with all the jumper wires, which are not even labeled, so I didn't want to try to mix them up because it would have burned the motherboard. That'll pretty much do it for this video. If you want to see another video with me running games, let me know. Thanks for watching.